Austin, after a 3-1 start, two big games for Raiders and Chiefs, what's the confidence level for the team right now?
Yeah, it's definitely high, and I think that's what you come into the season with. You come into the season with, high expectations, and we're keeping up to almost all the way up to our expectations. Just playing well, competing, and sticking to the game plan and making it work and winning games. So, as long as we continue to have that formula, we're going to continue to have high confidence. And I feel like my thing is, whether it's individual or as a team, I feel like you should definitely always have high confidence, just in yourself and your abilities. If you don't, that's what you need to work on.
Austin, this organization obviously invested heavily in the offensive line this offseason. Just what did you see from the run blocking in that game Monday night?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, some gaps, right? Double teams. The Raiders play a little bit further back, and so it was allowing our guys up front to get really good double teams solidified so we can get through to the second level to the linebackers, and they did a really great job of that. And looking forward to seeing some more of that, coming to, even just with pass pro, stuff like that. They're just coming together. Rashawn Slater, wow. Like, talk about a pick, man. This guy is locked down over there. So, if they continue to keep doing this, Herb, just stay upright, keep pushing the ball down the field, and obviously we'll start running the ball too as well.
Austin, you went out for a little bit and got your ankle taped. Are you all good?
Yeah, it's just football, man. Sprain ankle every once in a while. Just tape it up and get back in there.
How do you feel the camaraderie is growing now we're 5 weeks into the season with that offensive line?
Yeah, I would say the camaraderie just in the entire team has been growing. And then the trust with the offensive line has obviously been a part of that as well. But just even with the coaching staff, there's been a lot of camaraderie that we kind of missed out on last year. We didn't have, an off season. We didn't have OTAs, preseason. So just having that and being around each other for a lot longer, and then building chemistry with how, we're going to call the IDs from, the center. Because usually, you see a quarterback out there, calling points. Now we got Corey Lindsley, who's been around for so long. Now he's calling the points, right? And allowing Justin to, take one thing off his plate right now. He'll work into that as he continues to grow as a player. But yeah, it's been great to have him at the point, and then guys around him that are also holding up their end.
Austin, going back to Slater and that left side with Filer, when you're running behind those two guys, what are you thinking when you see those lanes open up?
Hey man, either side, I'm happy about these guys, man. But yeah, Slater and Matt are some big human beings, some really big human beings. So and they're really strong as well. I think I saw the Rashawn Slater video of him front squatting like 600 pounds or whatever it was for like 3 times. Insane. And so, yeah, I'm getting to run behind those guys. So absolutely, if I'm running behind those guys, it's, there's going to be something there.
We got Rashawn out running on some screens. There's a little.
Yeah, he's athletic. He's athletic. He can run.
What were you thinking when he ran in front of you, like hauling?
Him and Matt can both run. It's big people. They're usually straight lines, but that's all I need. Just get in the way. So once we can get those guys running, it's awesome because now it's basically just moving the offensive line. Now they're not necessarily blocking straight up field, but now allowing me to actually cut off them out in space.
Austin, you've been in that 15, 16, 17 touch range. Is that kind of the sweet spot, you think?
Yeah. I'm pretty open about it just as far as like my workload. Like, I can't take the entire season every single rep. I don't think many running backs can. Maybe Derrick Henry, but like there has to be some balance, right? And we got other backs that have been making plays as well. So I'm happy to see these guys get in the game too. But yeah, let's like take care of my body. I'm a 195-pound guy. Like you see the guys that Limbaugh. You just saw him. That guy's tackling me, right? So that like it hurts. Football hurts, man. Straight up, So that's why the recovery is such an important part of it, and making sure there's a balance. And that's kind of what I've always had. When Melvin Gordon was here, it was the same thing. It was a balance. And I'm still able to produce during that time, but that's because I'm available and healthy.
Speaking about getting tackled, how much of a challenge or what do you see from this Cleveland defense, especially with Garrett and Clowney on the defensive line?
Yeah. And when you have any defense that we go against a lot of edge rushers. You have to have a plan. You have to have a run plan of how they run, how they're fitting the run, and a pass plan too, and just mixing it up, putting a tight end over the top of them, putting motions in front of them, just making them play football. They can't just rush the passer all day, right? And so it comes down to our game plan. We had a great game plan against Chase Young over in Washington. For that pass rush, and then even for the Raiders too. And so it comes down to, okay, how are we going to put a different, just view in front of these guys to slow them down, make some extra, make them stop their feet, put a chip on them, butch them with the tight end, things like that. And so when it comes down to that, I feel like we can, really actually open up our run game when we're just giving them a bunch of really smoke and mirrors and just giving them different things to read and see.
How much room to grow do you feel like there still is for this offense? Just the number of new pieces you have, offensive line, Jared, new scheme. Do you feel like you guys have a lot of room?
Yeah, we have a lot of room, and Joe, showed it today. He showed us like 12, 15 clips of just like, hey, like look at these plays. Like these plays could have been way better, but these are like we messed up. Like we should be getting punished for this right now. And it's like things like that, whether it's like a false start, whether it's missing a block, missing the ID, right? Those are the things that are consistent in the game where it comes down to the mental game. Like, hey, who's making the less amount of mistakes? I go back to our Dallas game. It's like people say we shouldn't have lost. Well, we should have lost because we weren't the most disciplined team that day. They were more disciplined than us. Sure, maybe they didn't make as many plays, but they were more disciplined. That's part of the game, right? It comes down to it at the end. It's like for us right now, we have good things going, but if we continue to be more disciplined, then it's just going to keep elevating our game, right? And it comes down to a game of mistakes. Like who makes more mistakes is probably going to be the team that loses.
Austin, describe what ROA means to you.
Yeah, ROA, it was one thing that, Coach Slade brought in. I actually asked him, we had like a leadership meeting. I was like, Coach, what's your motto? Like, what are you about? And he's like our way. And I was like, oh, okay, what does that mean? But as I've gotten around him and gotten to know him, I know what our way. And to me, what our way means is, look, he's gonna give a game plan. He's gonna give a road of, hey, this is how we're gonna execute practice this week. This is how we're gonna go through our schedule. Everything is out there. He's laying it out for us, and it's about us to come and actually have a conversation. Like, hey, do we like this? Do we think this is efficient? Are we going to get enough work? Like, we used to not have like a meeting after practice. We put another meeting after practice so we can get the film in that day. It's just our way. It's making sure that we're all on the same page and we know what we want to get done and we can all go forward and agree upon something. And so I love that about him because he's open to us, really connecting with us, and makes it a really positive work environment where we can go and bounce things off each other. So yeah, that's what our way means to me. And when it comes to like the game, we break it down our way. It's really about playing as a team. And so there's a lot of different aspects when it comes to it, but in the end, it's all about us as an organization moving forward with the plan that we had set that week.
Derwin and Joey said on Monday night that they feel like you guys are coming together as a team. You guys are being a complete team. Is that kind of the feeling in the locker room right now, that you guys are coming together right now?
Yeah, and I mean, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. I've been around here a long time where it's like, man, our offense is killing it and our defense is struggling, or vice versa, right? And to really make a run in this league, after being around, you got to have a balance of both, right? And, it's a big emphasis. We have our Thursday meeting where it's like, this is where we're talking about the game plan in a team meeting. So everyone knows the game plan for the defense, for the offense, for the special teams. I think it's so cool because I'm like, now I know like what we're trying to do on defense. If I don't see them, like, hey, like defense, come on, like we need this. It's like another accountability factor that we can add in just for the whole organization. Everyone knows what we're trying to do. So yeah, I forgot what you asked, but what did you say? I'm sorry.
Oh my God. About they said that you guys are becoming a complete.
Oh, yeah. So I feel like just even that, encompassing that in football, and then just even being back in the locker room around each other, like even having media here, like just like it feels like it's getting back to like what we've been used to, right? Been around each other as a team, the camaraderie, and then when you win games, obviously helps as well, as far as morale. And I think it's because we have playmakers right now. We're utilizing our playmakers to the best of their ability, and we're able to complete the game plan as we're expecting. And I think it's been actually amazing with Brandon. It's like he's like, hey, this is what we're gonna do this week, and then we go out and do it, and we're just like, oh, this guy, he knows his stuff, So he's gained a lot of respect from not just the organization, but I think even just the community and the NFL.
In that final drive, did you feel like you were gone when you took off? And
The one that scored on?
no, the one after that, the one where you had that like.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was definitely turning the edge, but I knew I had to stay in bounds, so I didn't take up like all that edge. So who knows? Maybe if I used my extra like 7 yards I had, I maybe would have got out the gates. But at that point, I was just stay in bounds, get the first down.
Does Brandon's level of detail, like, does that surprise you in any way? Just
Yeah.
from us talking to him like in the press conference is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yes, like because he's like. he's like the defensive coordinator, defensive guy, but he knows all of our offensive plays. He's like, oh, on this poison right here, this guy goes in, or on this bush. Like, he's like calling out our plays. I'm like, oh, this guy, he knows, man. It makes me smile every time he's like talking about our plays and actually knows the play call and knows everything, because he's engulfs himself into football, the Chargers, our team. And I think that's what it takes, right? And then he actually displays that to us too, which is, I think, pretty special.
Is that part of the belief that's building? It's just because you look at the guy and you're like, he knows everything there
Right.
is to know.
Well, he knows everything, and he's got a plan. And he's like, this is why it's going to work, and he shows clips. Like, so it's like, yeah, I can believe what you're saying because I see what you're showing me, and this is why you believe in it. I see why you believe in that. And so he just backs up what he says with his film, and then obviously with his knowledge that he's had.
Nick,
You have a 18 career receiving touchdown. You're the only undrafted running back to do that in the NFL. Does that mean anything to you?
As of right now, not really, but I think in the future it will. It definitely is special to me. Like, I think that's amazing. Definitely have come a long way. But as far as like, I think that's going to be like something that I look back on because I still got a few more touchdowns in me, so I'm still going to push that bar. Definitely something that, I don't take lightly. Like, I'm definitely very thankful that I've had the opportunity to actually do that and been able to do that. But yeah, definitely one of those things I'm going to look back on my career one day and be like, wow, like that was a great run.
You feel like this is the best stretch since you've been here of this team playing complementary football? Because in 2 of the wins, turnovers, game-winning drive.
Right. I mean, it's been a struggle for us, yeah, because a lot of times we're, in the game, and then it comes down to a 2-minute drive here or there. We've made that 12-4 run back, I think, my second year, where I feel like we were a pretty complete team. Then injuries just kind of knocked us out. But starting to feel like that type of team where we're really detailed, we're really making plays. People are flying around all over the place. It's not just a few guys, right? It's on defense, offense. And so I don't know if it's the best. I don't know. We'll see. And we've only played 4 games, so we get further down the road. We'll see. But definitely, a good crew to be a part of right now, and I'm excited that we're on the right track.
And then just how many texts and emails did you get from people saying thank you for winning?
It's funny actually after the Monday night game because they had like a highlight on me for that game. I think I got more texts about people just being amazed that I can do a few one-arm pull-ups. And people were like, yeah, great game, but that was crazy. I didn't know you could do some one-arm pull-ups. I was like, hey, I'm strong. What can I say, pound for pound?
It's safe to say Staley's approach to the game just provide you guys added confidence in the locker room, kind of what you're saying.
I think there's 2 parts to it, though. I think it allows us to believe in him more. It's like, hey, he has a good plan, but we still have to go out and execute the plan, right? So there's 2 parts to it. If you can have a good plan, but if we can't as players to go out and execute that, then it kind of just defeats the purpose, right? Like, okay, we got to change the plan to what we're able to do. So I feel like he gains confidence in us when we're able to complete his plan, and we gain trust in him that, hey, his plan's going to work. So it's really like an ecosystem that's working, and so it's been working for us right now, and the chemistry that we've been building, and obviously Jay Herb getting to his second year, really getting his feet underneath him, I think has really helped him just see the game too, and especially with Corey offensively. And so it's kind of slowed things down and let us play a little bit more free and a little bit more aggressive, even on like our 4th downs. Right? That's what everyone's like, dang, this guy's aggressive. Like, hey, well, we got the guys to do it, and we trust Jay Herb. He's going to throw the ball, and we're going to get on it. We're going to catch it. We're going to get the first down.
The improvement in the red zone from the last 2 games versus the first 2 games, did you see it as eliminating mistakes like penalties and some turnovers? Do you see some schematic changes, game plan changes that you guys made?
Absolutely. We had 2 touchdowns taken off the board because we had pre-snap penalties. We literally 2 people were doing this, and then we scored a touchdown, but it got called back. It wasn't because of anything schematics, like the scheme worked, we scored. But so there was 2 touchdowns taken off the board for us in the past 4 games that we've had. So yeah, absolutely. That's just, we need to practice better. That's stuff that you can't be doing ever or anywhere, right? But yeah, red zone efficiency, especially in our division right now, we got to score points. You got to score points because we got some explosive offense. Our defense is definitely going to shut them out, but we got to make sure that, hey, even if they don't, look, we're out here battling. Obviously, on offense, we're trying to score every time. So efficiency in the red zone's an emphasis for every team every single year. And it's great when you have guys like Mike Williams can go up and get it. Parham, who's 6'9", Jared Cook, Keenan, who's going to dice you up down in there, or me, who might outrun you to a pylon. So you got to guard the whole field. Who we gonna double, and then whoever you're doubling, everyone else is singled. So let's play ball. And then also Jay Herb can run too. So it's a good combination.